And I think we are now live. Hello everyone, welcome back to the F2 League. I am XNattyG in the commentary box today. Unfortunately not joined by Play Dutchy again. He seems to have abandoned me, but I realised that I was doing the intro but not actually live. So hopefully we are now live, you can all hear me. And yeah, so I'm just going to repeat everything I said in the last 7 minutes. We're here for the F2 League here at Hungary for round 3 and 4 with 2 races, the feature race and then the sprint race. I feel like I said that twice. The feature race and then a sprint race. I have completely lost my words tonight. But I am so prepared for this that well, it's all going perfectly fine. Nothing's gone wrong already. Definitely have not recorded like 3 intros. But yeah, we're here for Hungary. Last week we had Mexico. Unfortunately we couldn't do the sprint race because the game crashed, the servers blew up, so we decided to abandon it and only do the feature race. It provided some really good racing. We had some great battles between the majority of drivers, a few incidents, but all has been sorted for today's race. We do interestingly have Beza out on the wet tyres. I'm not sure it's wet enough yet. I don't think I see a rain cloud. But yeah, there's an interesting strategy. We'll see if he can qualify on the wets, see where he can go. But after 8 minutes of quali, it's currently 2 on pole, Bonnie Evil in second, Ted in third, Thunder in fourth, A6 in 5th, DBD in 6th, ND in 7th, Wiggly Style in 8th, Pope in 9th, Super Clean Racer in 10th, and I've just realised that these people haven't actually set a time yet, so me reading their names is completely pointless. Super Clean Racer, though, has just set a lap and has gone up into 5th place. So, yeah, decent lap from him. Let's get my things working again. There we go, Super Clean Racer up into 5th place. I think I've got all, yeah, there we go, all the settings are on the screen for you now. And Hungary, a very high downforce track here. It's kind of like the outdoor Monaco. Well, not the outdoor Monaco, all tracks are outdoors, but Monaco with no barriers is what I was trying to say. It's a very high downforce required track. No, not really any straight, so you only really got the start-finish straight. And this kind of mini straight that Bonnie Evil's going down now into sector 3. So a few overtaking opportunities. Turn 1 is definitely going to be the main one. You might see a few moves down at the hairpin, some people getting good runs. We've got a spinner, I think that could be Beza, it was Beza, going slowly on the wets. And I think I found out the reason why there are so many people on the mediums rather than the softs, as obviously there are 2 races, the feature and the sprint race, and the tyres you get in quali you have to use in both those 2 races. You don't get any more sets, it's just those tyres. I think you have 5 or 6 tyres to use for the feature and sprint race, so ideally you want to use as little tyres, or as few tyres as possible. Super Clean Race has just improved on his time. That is horrendous audio coming from the sound rear of that car. Moves his way up into second place, 7 tenths behind Toussaint, and has got himself up into a decent position on the medium tyres, just ahead of Bonnie Evil and Ted, all of which are in the pits at the minute. Let's try and find someone who's on a lap. I think Wiggly Style or Pope. Why is it not letting me do this? There we go. Pope is on a flying lap, just going through the first few corners at the minute. Wiggly Style's just about to finish his out lap. We've got a few slow cars at the end of sector 3. I think that's one of them, but I think it might be, yeah, it's Beza on the wets. Beza comes across the line and sets a blistering 1 minute 50.6 on the wet tyres. I mean, if we ride on board, you can just see how much rain there is. Doesn't lock up into turn 1, hits the apex beautifully, and what a lap from Beza. Surprisingly, it's only 9th, but I'm sure he'll improve. Maybe the intermediates, but don't know why Beza's on the wets. I think he's on the wets because of the lack of tyres. Wiggly Styles actually set the fastest first sector of anyone. Locks up the front right, which is really easy to do in these F2 cars. Going through the little chicane, a right followed by a left. Does well not to ride the curbs or go wide on the exit. Let's just get rid of a few of the HUD options and let's follow him through the middle sector now. A little bit of traffic in the final sector for some. Wiggly Style keeping it clean, a little bit loose on the rear, but sets the fastest middle sector of anyone in the meantime. So this could be a really quick lap from Wiggly Style. Driving the Dams car, his teammate Pope is up into third place. So fine margins between second and third, as Wiggly Style now is going to come across the final corner. Swooping right-hander, you don't want to hit the pit lane wall on the inside, and in the run up to the line sets a 1 minute 28.8 and goes behind Toussaint in second place, 5/10 off the provisional pole lap. So not a bad lap from him. Toussaint's fastest lap, I think, was on the mediums. Yes, it was. No, he's already done 4 laps on those mediums. So I'll keep it on best. Actually, no, I'll keep it on fitted so we can see what everyone's on. Pope is on an invalid lap at the minute. We've got a BWT coming through the final corner. It's not ND, it's going to be the other teammate of SDF who comes into the pit lane. And nice and slowly, nice and cautiously, doesn't crash like someone did in the Premier Series, Cryptech, but he comes into the pits now. I'm sorry, Cryptech. And we'll be fitting a new set of tyres, and we'll be going out and setting another lap later on in the session. We'll keep an eye. Wiggly Style, sorry, is a 10th up on his time at the minute, so we'll keep an eye on Wiggly Style as well in the Dams. His teammate Pope has come around the final corner and is an unfortunate lap, invalid lap, sorry, for him. I think that's ND coming around the final corner down the straight, goes up into 9th. Gains 1 position. Ted is, I think that was Ted, no, ASIC, sorry, going up into 6th place on the medium tyres. Only a second and a half off pole position. Hello everyone in the chat. Guillotine having Hungary flashbacks. Hello. Oh, what's that? Oh dear. Stream is still live, isn't it, guys? Hopefully I've been live. I've just got the notification saying we're live, so I hope I haven't been talking for 12 minutes. How awkward would that be? Just talking for 12 minutes by myself. Hello Gypsy Kev in the chat, N-Worlds Gaming as well. Gavanon Cameron, evening. Hello Black Country. What's the... Sorry, I'm just doing a few things. There we go. Hello Dylan as well. Nice of you to join us. We've got a few cars out on track at the minute. I think that is Pope coming through the final corner. He's 7.5 tenths up. Penultimate corner, sorry. He's 7.5 tenths up on his time as he approaches the final corner now. On the medium tyres, up to the line, goes second place, 3 tenths behind Toussaint. On the mediums, 1 minute 28.6 for him. We've got someone coming around the final corner. They're going into the pits. I think that's Thunder going around the final corner. He's on an invalid lap and is off into the pits as well. Tiger Assassin's on a lap. Don't know if he's improving or not on his 1 minute 29.2 on the red soft tyres at the minute. We'll have a look and see what lap time he does as he comes around the final corner. It's not going to be a competitive time. I've just seen he's gone over 1 minute 40, so might have made a mistake or preparing himself for this flying lap. It doesn't have the DRS open. Interesting. So this could be a kind of a warm-up lap for him as he goes through turn 1. Hits the apex nicely. I cannot speak today. Doesn't open the DRS again. So yeah, this could be a warm-up lap, just testing the track conditions and seeing how the tyres in the car react. Maybe testing his setup. Not too sure. But going through turns 2 and 3. Run down towards the very fast left-hander, really easy to invalidate. Cut the corner on the inside and go wide on the outside, but it's nice to keep it within the track limits. Now going through the long swooping right-hander, a really easy corner to get onto the curb and force the car into the spin, into the chicane of turns 6 and 7. A little bit deep into the first one, but made up for it nicely. But having said that, he is facing the wrong way in the barrier. Hugely unfortunate for him. But there's still 13.5 minutes to set another lap. Hope the stream's all good. Hope my internet's holding up for the meantime. We've got I was going to say a Renault coming around the final corner, but it's not. It's a DVD in the Unicar. It's not a Unicar, obviously. It's the one beginning with V. My mind has gone completely blank, and this is really bad. Yes, the Virtuoso. What was the Virtuosi? Sorry. That was the most embarrassing thing I've ever said. Tiger's coming around the final corner now. We'll be starting another lap after spinning at the chicane. I do apologise. It's quite late. It's almost 8 o'clock here in the UK, and I'm very tired. It's Friday, and I need sleep. Anyway, let's not get distracted. Tiger into turn 1 now, and has invalidated the lap already after 10 seconds. So hugely unfortunate for him. Piero, another one, invalidating the lap. DBD is on a lap, was 1/10 up on his time, but has invalidated. A lot of invalidations here, and he's on an out lap at the minute. So a few people possibly struggling for track limits at the minute. So we've still got 12 minutes to go though in the session, so plenty of time to set a quality time. We had 30 minutes at the start, we've now had 28 of that, and down to the final 12. Will be followed by two 50% races, the feature race and the sprint race. Let me try get the standings up, and I can tell you who won last week. I completely forgot who won last week's race. Who won? I think it was it Piero? I remember Piero Pope being up there. Let me just check now. It was SDF. Completely the wrong person. SDF won last week. Pope was in second. Dan Schneider in third. That's how the championship's looking for the top 3 at the minute. Obviously we didn't have the sprint race, so it's the championship might be even closer with only, what, 7 races if all the remaining races go ahead as planned with no lobby glitches. I believe that's Piero coming around the penultimate corner now, 4/10 up on his time. He's on the medium tyres still. Is he? Yeah, he is. Sorry, that looked like he was on the softs for a minute. But comes around the final corner. Let's see what time Piero can do up to the line, and it's a 1 minute 28.36, 5 seconds the fastest final sector, and moves up into 7th place, less than a 10th behind Toussaint, only 0.061 seconds, so 600ths separating the Brit and the Frenchman, as Toussaint's going to respond by coming out of the pits immediately on the soft compound tyre. So we're going to see a competitive lap time coming in the next few laps from Toussaint, and we'll see if he can extend his lead on pole position. Well, provisional pole I should say for now. A lot of people in the pits, a lot of people coming out the pits. Beza still on the wet tyres, still on track on the wet tyres, says he's in the pits though, but yeah, clearly saving a lot of his tyres for the race. SDF apparently is 30 seconds up in the first sector, but he's only been on a lap for 20 seconds, so that's pretty much impossible. Isn't actually on a lap, has decided to back off and let one of... Who's just gone by? Is that A6? Yeah, it's A6 just going by. Louis Delatraz is here. That's interesting. Let's try and find someone to spectate. Who's... So I think that's Toussaint coming around the middle sector now. He's about to start his lap on the softs. Who else is on a lap? SDF. He's not on a quick lap. DBD is on an invalid lap. Jetsy still hasn't set a time yet in the session. The only Prima car. And why does it give me all the AI options? I've got to flick through everyone. There we go. Let's have a flying lap with Toussaint here, as he's going to be the first one to set a lap out of the cars that are on track. So let's have a flying lap down the start-finish straight. DRS wide open, reaching up to 182 miles per hour before braking into a heavy turn 1. Locks up the front right a bit. Short shifting up to third just to get the traction on the rear. Opens the DRS again for the second DRS straight on this track through turn 2 now. Left-hander followed by a quick right-hander, and the run down towards turn 4. Doesn't want to cut the corner or go wide. Is almost 2/10 up on his time. Hooks it up quite nicely. Doesn't go wide or invalidate. locks up the front right a little bit, going in towards turn 5. A really easy corner to hit the curve and lose the rear into the chicane now. A quick right followed by a left, taken in third gear at around 70-80 miles per hour. Starting at the middle sector, a chain of S's. You really want to hook these up nicely. One mistake can cost you a lot of time, as these corners really flow into one another. Pretty much the entire track flows from one corner to another. It is 2.5 tenths up on his personal best, which is the provisional pole time at the minute, through the middle sector now into the penultimate corner of turn, I want to say 13. Does nice to not go wide off the track through the final corner now. Doesn't go as deep into the inside, carries the speed around the corner, and comes across the line to improve by 0.375 seconds and goes up into provisional pole. Well, maintains provisional pole, sorry, but extends his gap at the top to 0.4 of a second. Piero, well, Tiger's teammate just coming out on track now, but Piero is going to have to respond to that in the next few laps if he's wanting to knock him off the top step. A6 1.4 seconds off his personal best on. So let's have a look. There's a few people. I think there's a high tech coming around the final corner, penultimate corner. It is Beza still on the wet tyres with 7 minutes to go. So in Lucas Giotto's car. Does he come into the pits? He does. So he's going to finally get off those wet tyres and set a proper lap. I think. Who is that coming around the final corner? That is Ted on an out lap. Should we have an onboard or not? Let's have an onboard with Ted on his flying lap down the start finish straight. In the long run down towards turn 1, braking roughly at the 100-meter board down into second gear, goes a little bit wide onto the curve, doesn't exceed the track limit, so get an invalid lap. Opens the DRS once more for the quite slow left-hander in these cars. In second gear, quickly shifting up to 4th through to turn 3. Ted currently in 11th place through the first sector, is 8 tenths down on his lap, so it's going to take a lot for him to improve. A6 though is apparently 2 tenths up on his lap, so let's keep an eye on this and see what he can do as he comes around the final corner and sets an improved lap time. It's 6 tenths improvement, 1 minute 29.1, moves himself up into 8th place. The Carlin Red Bull team, I know there's no Red Bull in the team name, but Carlin opted for the Red Bull livery, and both their drivers in 6th and 8th at the minute. Much better performance from last week's race, where they qualified I think 13th and 12th or something, so a really big improvement from those guys. Toussaint currently 4 tenths down his personal best through the first sector. Wiggly Style is also on a lap. We've got someone, I think it's Ted, coming through the final sector now. He's 3 seconds down on his lap, so he's going to be unable to improve. Super Clean Racers coming around the final corner to start his flying lap, but I'll keep an eye on, I think that's Bonnie Evil, on an invalid lap. A6, we'll keep an eye on A6 for now. Will be the next car to set a lap time in this quali session. We've currently got 5 minutes left, just under 5 minutes. So A6 in the Carlin. Who's Carlin? He's in Sonoda's Carlin. So Sonoda obviously getting that Alpha Tauri seat. I called it 2 different teams there, but yeah, he comes into the pits, aborting that lap. Tiger's coming out on a set of mediums, interestingly, with only 4 minutes to go. So we'll see what lap times people have done their best lap on. So actually a lot of mediums, a lot of fastest laps have been done on the medium tyre as things stand. Wiggly Style actually on that, his lap went provisional pole. I think someone went off. It looked like it, but sorry, Wiggly Style on provisional pole, going 2 tenths quicker than Toussaint behind, 27.7. Good lap from him, and is on for provisional pole at the minute. Toussaint on a lap, not a quick one, but we've got a few cars off in the middle sector. I think that's ND. No, it's not. It's his teammate SDF. I think he's letting traffic go, and there was a, I think that was that was DBD off in the first sector. Yeah, you can see SDF just letting people go by through the middle sector, getting out the way nicely. There is a high-tech coming around the final corner. I think is that Beza? I think it was Beza. Why do they have to add AI to the spectator menu? It just saves flicking through all the drivers. It's just, yeah, my preferred way of spectating people, rather than just going like this, and it can be quite annoying sometimes. Beza on the soft compound tyres. I just had to check there to see if he is actually going to set a competitive lap time in the squally session. Through the first few corners in the rundown towards turn 4, his first sector is 3.3 seconds quicker than his medium run, somewhere in the 33s, as Pope actually goes on provisional pole to 27.4 on the soft tyres again. So more competitive soft runners now going to fitted. Majority of people on the soft tyres. Thunder still on the mediums, but here comes Beza now through the middle sector. We'll ride on board for a little bit through the left, followed by the sharp, well, not really sharp, but just a long swooping right hander, a really easy one to go wide in the run down towards turn 12, braking just before the curb starts on the left hand side. Super clean racer up into second place. A really good lap from him. 27.6 splits the two Dams drivers. Dams drivers doesn't sound right, does it? But it's what we're going to go with. But here comes Beza now around the final corner. The yellow flag's in the middle sector. I think that's just traffic getting out the way, and Beza moves his way up into 5th place. And yeah, good lap from Beza. 27.8, only 200ths behind Toussaint. And let's try and find someone to spectate. Toussaint's coming into the pits. I don't think he's going to get enough time to set a lap. Tiger's also into the pits and down in 12th place, so might probably not get a lap time in. And unfortunate for him, Pope is on an invalid lap. Wiggly Style is on a slightly down in his time, only by 100th outside, sorry, as Wiggly Style comes around the final corner now, opens the DRS and the rundown towards the line. Can he improve? Doesn't improve. It's 5/10 off of his time. Is in 3rd place though, but yeah, good lap from him. Wiggly, a super clean racer, is on an out lap, and sorry, not on a quick lap, and we'll start another one. Starting one of his laps. There is a BWT coming around the final corner, and we've got a spinner. That's Thunder down at turn 2. Sorry. Yeah, Thunder down at turn 2. Losing the rear, and has decided to manually retire the car. Piero coming round the penultimate corners. 4/10 up on his time is Purple through the middle sector for the ART team. That's going to be a mouthful. Just for the ART. Here goes Piero around the final corner. Opens up the DRS. Is it going to be provisional pole? Not quite. Improves, but not enough. 4/10 off pole, but a 27.9 moves him up into 6th place. Time is up, so last lap for everyone. Still out on track. A6 is not on an improved lap, and he won't improve. Jetty invalidated his time, so he won't be improving either. Wiggly Style is on a flying lap. Can he still pole away from his teammate? No, he can't. Doesn't improve on his time. Beza's coming round through the middle sector. It's just him and Super Clean Race. Super Clean Race is on an invalid lap though. Beza actually set the fastest middle sector. I just seen ND's on a lap at the minute through the middle sector. Around the final corner now. Has currently set 1 minute 31.5. Looking at this time, I don't think it's going to be an improvement from him. So all eyes on Beza, who's invalidated his time. Was 3/10 up. Would have been quick enough for possibly the front row of the grid, but invalidating his lap. Unfortunately, I didn't see where, but has cost him what could have been maybe 2nd or even pole position. But here is the starting grid for today's race. Pope on pole position, Super Clean Racer in second, Wiggly Style in third, followed by Toussaint in fourth, Beza in fifth, and Piero will join him on the third row. SDF on the mediums will start in seventh, Ted in eighth, Thunder in ninth, Bonnie Evil in a Carlin sandwich down at 10th, with A6 bringing up the bottom half of the bread. Tiger in 12th, followed by DBD in 13th, ND in 14th, and Jetsy didn't set a time and will round up the back of the grid in 15th. So then, let's get this race underway. Just doing some testing chat, don't mind, just ignore that. Just seeing how far behind my stream is. Hopefully my internet is still stable enough, still streaming at more than 2 pixels a second. So it looks like the session will be starting just 15 seconds. No lobby glitches for us today, thankfully. Waiting for everyone to ready up, and we should be able to get this race underway. Hungary for today's race. Next week is Silverstone, I believe, and then the final race of the season is in the deserts of Bahrain. That should be a really exciting race for us all. And the light is out, and away we go for the formation lap. And a few people have already been disqualified. Beza at SDF, they're going to have a really slow getaway off the line. But Pope, Super Clean Racer, Willow Star, Toussaint, Beza, Piero, SDF, Ted, Thunder, Bonnie Evil, A6, Tiger, Davey D. I said that so weirdly. MD and Jetsy is your starting grid. In today's race, we have 19 laps in this race. And yeah, should hopefully be a good one. Hungary will definitely test skill and speed as it is there, and overtaking. It's quite a difficult track to overtake on. Main corners being turn 1, 2, and possibly turn 12 down at the hairpins at the final sector. But DRS and slipstream is definitely going to help a lot around this track. So a Super Clean Racer needs to kind of get the best start of his career to challenge Pope in towards turn 1. It's quite a long run down towards turn 1, so if he can get tucked into the slipstream, get a good start, and maybe send one down the inside, should promote him to the lead of the race. But we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out. For the guys in the midfield, it's well, it's more than a 90 degree, it's like a 130 degree right hander into towards turn 1, which goes into a 180 really. So yeah, these guys in the middle are going to have to try and keep it clean, keep their front wings, and hopefully make it to the end of this race in one piece. This track being 4.3 kilometers, I think, or 4.4. I can't quite remember. Like I said, well, I said this, but I wasn't streaming. I am well prepared for this race, and we're about to get it underway in just a few seconds' time. Waiting just for everyone to round up the back of the grid. And then this race can get started for the feature race of round 3. And can I just have someone in the chat confirm that the screen quality hasn't dropped to like just a pixel? It's just a massive blur. I hope it's all okay. Excuse me, I'm not very well hydrated or prepared for this race. But here we go, the lights are counting down. We've got 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. And Pope's off to a good start. Super King Racer also off to a good start. He's going to pull up alongside Toussaint, off to a good start as well, pulling alongside the other Dam's car. And it's 3 wide going into turn 1. There's contact, and someone's round. I think that's Ted or Beza. I'm not going to attempt this with the lobby glitching out, but someone's round at the back. I think it might be Beza actually. But it is still Pope who leads this way, followed by Super Clean Racer. This is just going to be impossible. Toussaint's down the inside of Wiggly Style. And looking towards the back of the grid, we've got a few cars going wheel to wheel. I think that's Bon Evil and Piero. If these timings can stop changing so I could find someone here. It's Bon Evil. You can see there Toussaint trying to get past Wiggly Star. I think we're almost back to normal. Piero's got off to a good start, up into 5th place, but it was Beza dropping down to 10th, 15th, sorry, someone's round, it's the Dams, I think that's it's Pope round at the hairpin, and there's someone else in the wall. Is that Piero? No, it's not Piero, I think is it Ted? There's contact with DVD and Beza there, but I have no idea where anyone is on track. I think it was Ted round at the back. Jetsy already up into 7th place, starting from the back of the grid, has got a little bit wide. That might be warning for exceeding track limits, as ND's going to send one down the inside. SDF's going to send one down the inside, and Bon Evil Piero getting ahead of Bon Evil down the inside. They're going to go wheel to wheel, and someone's had an incident. I think it might be Ted again. Oh no, Jetsy's dropped down to 9th place. No damage on his front wing, so he's kept it all clean so far. Looking up back to the top of the grid, Super Clean Racer. Who's leading this race? Super Clean Racer's leading this race. Followed by someone in 2nd. The timing screens still haven't fixed themselves, but I think it's Wiggly Style in 2nd. If Codemasters could fix this would be really appreciative. Someone's round at the back. I think that's DBD. No, it's A6. Almost comes onto the track and hits his teammate, but comes onto the track dangerously and hits DBD, gets a 5-second penalty for that, and that might be looked at by the stewards. Here comes Piero looking for a possible move. Doesn't want to go for anything on Bon Evil. I think the timing screens have finally fixed themselves after 2 laps. Not great from A6, really rejoining the track quite dangerously. You can see a few penalties already. ND and A6. A6 is one for that collision, rejoining the track rather dangerously. But yeah, Super Clean Racer leading this race, 3/10 to Wiggly Style in 2nd. Bon Evil's got herself up into 4th place, but it's under pressure from Piero. Didn't get the best of runs. Beza getting past ND through the middle sector. Piero looking for a move on Bon Evil. Pope closely behind, putting the pressure on. And we've got a nice kind of train forming here for the lead. Bon Evil slightly falling back off the leaders. We've got someone round in the middle sector. I think that's Tiger, who is spanned and is facing the wrong way on the circuit. Has to wait for A6 to go through, and will drop himself on Wiggly Style for 2nd place. Sets the fastest lap of the race as well. Gets himself up into 2nd place. Good move for him. The first Premier and GT Sport champion making moves up into 2nd place. We'll try and hunt down Super Clean Racer for the lead of this race. Here comes Bon Evil diving one down the inside of Wiggly Style. There's enough room to go down the inside, and tries to switch back, tries to get a good run, but can't quite get the move done on the Dams car in front. A few people in the pits repairing their front wing. A6 and DBD into the pits for a fresh set of tyres and a new wing. But in terms of the top runners, a pretty clean start. A few spins and a few unfortunate incidents towards the back. But yeah, A6 is just going to come out. Actually, no, they're going to go wheel to wheel with Ted in towards turn 1. Ted on the outside, it's gone slightly deep, and we'll have to settle in behind the Carlin for now. Thunder getting past ND, who's hit the back of the Carlin. That looks a bit like front wing damage. I think it is. Hugely unfortunate for him. Here comes SDF coming down the inside of Pope. These two are going to go wheel to wheel through the penultimate corner, but Pope is able to get the traction off through the final corner. Penultimate corner, on those soft tyres, and pull ahead of BWT. But here comes Toussaint now in the slipstream, and Super Clean Race is actually disconnected, and Toussaint's hit the back of the AI. I don't think that's any damage, and there's the confirmation that he has left. So hopefully he can join back as quickly as possible, because he was having such a good race, and he's now going to be his AI is going to be under pressure from Wiggly Style. And here comes Beza on Jetsy. Jetsy down the inside of... yeah, that is Jetsy down the inside of Beza. In towards turn 2. Sorry, I was getting all confused. And there goes Jetsy up into 8th place, gaining positions. And you can see there, Super Clean Races. AI is just losing positions, but someone who's lost out massively in that is Wiggly Style. Down in 9th place, hugely unfortunate. I don't know if there was contact with him and the AI, or whether it was someone else But really unfortunate for that, after having such a good qualifying position, has now fallen down to the mid of the grid. And it's going to be SDF now to challenge the AI car of Super Clean Racer. Here comes Piero all over the back of Bonnie Evil. Only 2/10 separate these two drivers. Someone round it. It's Jetsy in the back. And that was really fortunate for him not to, well, not for someone to run into a side pod. But hugely unfortunate for Jetsy after having such a good start. Starting from the back of the grid, has now lost all momentum, locking up. Thunder's gone past, NDN has also gone past, Bezza getting past Super Clean Racers AI, and someone's round, and that's Thunder drifting, colliding into Jetsy. Had no control of his car through the penultimate corner, and things aren't going well for a lot of people. Here goes Piero on Bonnie Evil, gets to move down up into second place. They're going to go wheel to wheel, and Piero didn't get a really good run at all through that corner, losing out to Bonnie Evil. Here comes Pope now, might try and look for a move, but Jetsy's actually retired in the pit lane, but it appears to be a manual retirement, unfortunately. He had such a good start from the back of the grid, and then span at the at turn 11. Here goes Piero around the outside of Bonnie Evil. Wasn't enough room to try the move, but yeah, really unfortunate for Jetsy. And Toussaint, after getting past Super Clean Racers AI, now off to a 4.8 second lead, and seems to be controlling this race at the minute. But we've got a three-way fight for second place at the minute. And Bonnie Evil versus Piero and Pope, all on the soft compound tyres. SDF and Bez are behind on the mediums, interestingly, so a different strategy for those two guys. Let's see how it works out towards the end of this race. Tiger picking up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Here comes Piero now, might try and move on Bonnie Evil. This could put him under threats from Pope behind, and we'll try and look for a move down the inside. Bonnie Evil leaves the door open and is able to carry the speed through the final corner. Here goes Piero trying to look for a move on Bonnie Evil, but Pope might try and make this 3 wide, but Piero on the outside will try to go around the outside. He holds it round the outside, but doesn't get a good exit. Here comes Pope now. Bonnie Evil is off, and I didn't see that. Down in 6th place now, losing the rear, I think. Hugely unfortunate for her. And here comes Piero and Pope. Pope get huge gains, going from 4th to 2nd in a few corners, and this battling is allowing SDF to catch up behind Bezza as well, gaining on these two runners. But yeah, I've seen a few spins in this race. Really unfortunate. It's not the quickest of tracks, so really easy to get on the power early through a low speed corner and start spinning. I'm sure Play Dirty in the chat's not going to be happy. Oh no, it's Piero's in 3rd. Why do I think Piero's bad? I do apologise. But Piero, if you do spin, I don't think Dutchy's going to be happy. Thunder has had an incident down at the hairpin. He might have gotten to the curb or something. I don't think he collided with anyone. But it's down in 10th place at the minute. But this battle for 2nd place is still on between Piero and Pope. Now going to have the DRS down the start finish straight. Pope doesn't defend the inside. He does go to the inside, actually, just as I say he doesn't. Piero on the outside line will try and swoop round the outside of the Dam's car. They're still going to go wheel to wheel. That took so long for the cars to come around the corner, but Pope's is able to maintain 2nd place for now. And actually Piero getting overtaken by SDF there, down the inside, goes to BWT, up into 2nd place. Tiger making moves as Bonnie Evil pits. Is that for a front wing change? I think it could just be for tyres in the meantime. But Toussaint now got a 6-second lead. These guys battling so much for 2nd place. Here comes SDF, might try and move into the hairpin on Pope. Isn't quite close enough to send one down the inside there. But in all of this, Bez is actually closing up a lot of time on these guys. You can see him there, only 8/10 behind Piero. A few penalties coming in. SDF picking up a few for track limits. DBD getting one as well. Yeah, just trying to retract chat at the same time. As a little look up from SDF. SDF will be trying to put Pope under pressure as your race leader pits. Pope follows him in, and so does Piero. So lap 7, people coming into the pits. Someone's round at turn 1, I think that's DBD. He's into the wall. Has he got front wing damage? He does. Unfortunately, he has retired the car. Super Clean Race has finally been able to join back. It's down in 6th place at the minute. His AI is coming into the pits. So hopefully he can get back in the seat of that car. Is that someone in for a wing change? Was that... It's Piero in for a wing change. He had damage. I like how the front tyres are stacked up on those little stools. That's quite cool. But sorry, I'm getting distracted by Piero's pit stop. Piero into the pits with a wing change as well. We've actually got a virtual safety car. So I did not see that. So that's gonna save them a lot of time. Obviously going at reduced speeds under the safety car. We could start actually overtaking Piero there. But yeah, but given a position back. We've got a few people diving into the pits under the virtual safety car, making the most. Whilst everyone's at reduced speed. 40% slower, I think, is the speed limit, or the delta, whatever. Safety car, well, the virtual safety car has come in. Ted's just into the pits and has missed that window just a little bit. Might gain a few tenths or so. But Beza is all over the back of SDF now for the lead of the race, or then kind of the lead of the race. These two haven't pit yet. Started on those medium tyres. They've done the well, started 8. Well, done 8 laps on those now. We'll start their 9th. SDF moves it over to the inside, pulls out of the slipstream. Beza doesn't decide to follow him in the run down towards turn 1, and a little look up on the front right from Beza. Wiggly Star was also fairly close behind Piero. Wiggly Star came in a few laps earlier than Piero. But front 2, only 5 tenths separating them for the meantime. SDF does have a 3-second time penalty. There are all the penalties. 3 seconds for Tiger and A6. ND with 9. Someone's round, and I think that is Tiger on those fresh sets of tyres. I'm not sure if he's got wing damage. And doesn't have wing damage. Appeared to be going quite slowly when rejoining the track. I think just trying to get out the way for some people, for people coming through. It's quite a difficult corner to let people go through if you're when you spin in the middle of the track. But Andy's actually going wheel to wheel with Thunder now through turn 1 in the run down towards turn 2. Thunder on the inside. What can he do? Can he make anything of this? Down the inside of the BWT, they're going to go wheel to wheel, and they're still going to go side by side in towards turn 3. A little bit of lag, but gets the move done. Bonnie Evil getting ahead of Super King Racer down into the hairpin, not the hairpin, the chicane, sorry, as Tiger picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. The front 2 still separated by 5 tenths. More yellow flags, and that is Wiggly Style who's gone wide, or maybe had a half spin through turn 13. That's cost him a lot of time to Piero. Now 5.5 seconds between those guys, as Toussaint still has the net lead of the race at the minute. Tiger and ND, I think that's ND making a mistake maybe, and Tiger going through up into 11th place. SDF has now pulled out of the DRS range from Beza behind, only just though, second. It's lurking around that second mark. Beza will try his hardest to at least have DRS down the start-finish straight and close in on SDF. Doesn't want to let him get away. But yeah, the gap starts opening up a little bit in the middle sector. Not in the middle sector, just in the throughout the grid. I was looking at someone in the middle. Sorry, I got distracted. As I said, I'm so prepared for this. ND is into the pits for a wing change, and the new set of medium tyres going onto the car. The two leaders stay out on those medium tyres. Both done 10 laps on those tyres, starting their 11th. So I think Toussaint took his 7 or 8 laps, his soft, so it might be in the pits in the next few laps. There's ND just coming out of the pits now, behind, being a lap down, after pitting for a new wing. But SDF is definitely pulling a gap over Beza behind. And yeah, gap 1.1 seconds, it's kind of averaging the 1.1 second mark. And Beza's going to try all he can to try and close down the gap. Not many battles on track at the minute. We'll just have a quick look at position changes, the biggest gainers and losers in the race. SDF going up 6 positions after starting in 7th. Beza and Bon Evil having a good race, super clean race though after disconnecting. Down 6 places, SDF is into the pits. Beza decides to stay out for another lap and will try and overcut. So this is where things might get slightly interesting for a bit. Beza staying out, SDF picking up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's going to be served at the end of the race. We've got a car round. And who is that? Is that Ted? Is it Piero? It's Piero off into the wall. And like I was saying earlier, I don't think Dutchy's going to be best pleased about that one, Piero. But unfortunately, spinning at turn 12, just before turn 13, I don't know if there was contact. I don't think so. Has no damage to the front wing, but rejoins in 6th place. We've got more yellows in the middle, in the first sector. Is that Beza or is that for Ted? Might have been for Ted, I'm not sure. But Ted's 5/10 off on his personal best. I might think it could have been him. Beza only being 1/10, so I don't think he made a mistake. But has stayed out. And SDF, if I get the gap to leader, someone else is off. That's Bon Evil off at turn 1 into the barrier. They're dropping like flies at the minute. Bon Evil spinning around at turn 1. Maintains 7th place for the meantime. Has got quite a little bit of a gap to super clean racer behind. That's going to come down though to about 3 seconds. But looking at the gap to leader, the gap between SDF and Beza is 27 seconds. Beza's into the pits, which means Toussaint will take his lead back in the race. Beza also a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that's going to be close between his fight with SDF after the the end of the race. You can see Toussaint now coming around the final corner. Who actually has the fastest lap? But Pope has the fastest lap for the meantime. It's currently 3 seconds behind Toussaint. So where's SDF? Coming down the start-finish straight. That overcut really has not worked at all for Beza. The SDF's already down at turn 1 and Beza's just being released from his pit lane. His pit box, sorry. So is on the soft tyres, sorry. So might be able to pull out a gap to Wiggly Star behind on 7 lap worn mediums. So try and maintain his good 4th place for now. He is on the fresher tyres. ND has disconnected from the session. That's a car round. It's Tiger in the bright orange. I've forgotten. This is awful. Campos. I didn't forget. Fuji, unfortunately. That is this. I'm so sorry, guys. Tiger and a Campos spinning out to the penultimate corner. I think that's the 2nd time he's made a mistake there in today's race. So hugely unfortunate for him. I was going to say he's gaining on Thunder, but all that hard work has now gone down the hill and has gone off the track again at turn 1. A6 has lost a lot of time to Thunder, and the two Carlins now are going to battle for 9th place here with a few laps to go. 5 laps left in this race. Thunder's gonna might look for one down the inside of his Carlin teammate into the hairpin. They're gonna go wheel to wheel. Thunder on the inside, and A6 is spent. No, sorry, Thunder is spent into a spin. Teammates collide. Multi 21, even though it's the Carlins, but they got a Red Bull livery, so yeah, there we go. And it's Malaysia all over again. But really unfortunate for Thunder there. Not really a corner you can go wheel to wheel through. If I can get the words out tonight. And he's now dropped 3-4 seconds behind his teammates. Really unfortunate. Piero actually gaining a little bit on Wiggly Style. The intervals have now completely reset because this game is amazing. And Ted's actually now closing in behind Tiger. Closing in on behind Tiger. Just gonna wait for all the drivers to cross the line again for the intervals to reset. I think it's because someone's disconnected. That looks to be Beza. No, I was gonna say I thought someone was close behind someone else going through the middle sector, but it's yeah, I have to wait for everyone to come across the line. Tiger going a little bit wide through turn 1. Ted with the DRS gets a good exit. Here he goes on the outside. And Ted in the ART swoops his way around the outside of Tiger and moves himself up into 11th place. We'll try and close down 7.7 seconds up into Thunder. It's not over yet though. Ted defending the inside. Tiger couldn't quite get past, and Ted gets up into 11th place. Beza sets the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 29.0. That gap out front slowly coming down. It was 3.1, now 2.9. Flashed 2.8 briefly. So Two Saints got it. 3 seconds. Pope has none. So Two Saints needs to get out of the danger zone really. Pull out a 3-second gap to Pope behind just to he can be sure, just in case Pope doesn't get a penalty, he needs to secure his win. And at the minute, it's going to be Pope to win this race on penalties. A6 is closely behind Super Clean Racer. Someone's round. Is that Beza? It is Beza. Down at turn 5, might have got on the curb. And someone's round. It's out to... No, it's Tiger. Sorry, I was getting a bit excited there. I thought the leaders span, but there's been a crash between Super Clean Racer and A6 down at turn 1. And I couldn't quite see what happened. That happened just quite quickly. But unfortunate for both Carlins. Again, crashing. I thought that was Two Saint who span at the final corner. But yeah, Tiger, another spin. Unfortunately for him. Thunder getting past Super Clean Racer. Up into 8th place now. And we kind of got a mini fight on our hands now for 4th place after Beza's half spin at turn 5. Wiggly Style and Piero have joined the back of his train, and I'm going to get this up briefly and then just put it down towards these guys so I can just quickly flick between the two. And is anyone going to make a move in towards turn 1? It doesn't look like it. Beza still maintains 4th place, but for how much longer? Piero looking to put pressure on the dams in front. Beza, massive lock up. Here comes A6 down the inside of Super Clean Racer. I think Super Clean Racer's got front wing damage, which is going to be unfortunate. Well, it's really unfortunate for him. Got from that turn 1 incident. But intervals, I was just about to comment on them, and now they've disappeared. I was going to say Two Saint still not safe for this race win. 2.5 seconds was the gap before they disappeared. And needs to find an extra 5/10 fees to win this race. Beza is starting to pull away on those fresher soft tyres, so he's got back up to speed from his minor incident. Piero looking to try and put pressure on Wiggly Style. The battle for 5th place still goes on with only 2 laps to go in this race. The gap at the lead is coming down. Two Saint needs a little bit more speed and power if he's to win this race. Wiggly Star goes a little bit wide. Pope's gonna gonna look for one down the inside, and this will be the outside for the final corner. Goes a little bit wider. Smart racing from Piero. Gets a good line to get a good launch through the final corner to prepare himself for a move in towards side, but decides to back off and maintain his 6th position for the meantime. Ted is also quite close behind the Carlin of A6 after he had his collision with Super at the end of this race. I think it's Beza who has the fastest lap at 29, what was that, 29 flat? Yeah, 29.017. A6 picking up a 5 seconds, sorry, for speeding in the pit lane. That gap at the front is coming down to 2.1 seconds now. And it's coming down, not at a quick rate, but at a quick enough rate for Pope to win this race on penalties if he doesn't exceed any track limits. Doesn't keeps it within the track, should be able to win this race if he doesn't spin. That could be a massive commentator's curse, but hopefully nothing bad happens. I think that's Super Clean Races AI letting people go through. And just going to quickly check. Well, we've got no battles really. Pope's only got 1 warning, so it's going to have to take him to cut 2 corners. Race lap 18 out of 19. You can see we're now down to 13 drivers, 2 of which have retired from the race, less than last week's, which is good to see. But Piero's kind of pulled a gap now over Wigglestyle after getting the move down to turn 1. Wigglestyl's tyres 3 laps older than the Frenchman's, so he might be starting to struggle with the effects of tyre wear come the end stages of this race. Toussaint now comes round the final corner to start his final lap of the race. Piero picking up a 3-second time penalty. It's not gonna. He needs to find a what's that? Are we back? I think we're back. Hello everyone, and I've completely missed I've missed the end of the race, the most important part. SDF getting driver of the day. Apologise, my hamster decided to stop running on the Wi-Fi wheel. But who won the race? Toussaint won the race, I think. Oh no, it was Pope. Was it Pope? I think it was Pope. Hello guys. That was weird. Pope winning the Hungarian Grand Prix, the feature race, and takes the top spot. Toussaint in second, SDF in third, making that alternate strategy work for him. Takes up the final place on the podium. And yeah, those are your top 3. Congrats to Pope for the win. Hugely unfortunate for Toussaint, that penalty costing him in the end. But there is the final grid. Apologies if I missed any overtakes. Pope takes the W. Toussaint in second, SDF in third, Wigglestyle in fourth, Beza in fifth, Piero in sixth, Bonnie Evil in seventh, A6 in eighth, Super King Racer in ninth, ND. I think this is wrong because is this right? Because these guys finished below DNF people. I don't think this is right. I think it's right up to Bonnie Evil, or maybe A6. Because Thunder was in 10th. And yeah, Ted definitely did not finish 1 minute and 50 seconds behind Toussaint. Otherwise he would have been a lap down. Nor would Tiger, so that's going to have to be looked at after the race. I don't think anyone made any overtakes on the final lap. But that's the end of the feature race. We should have the lobby set up and ready for the sprint race after. Slightly reduced length race. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Just hamster decided to stop running. Wi-Fi cut out, but it's really weird. I was still connected. I'm still in this PlayStation party, just so I'm not in game chat. So I think I just disconnected from the session, and then everything had a mental breakdown. But there's the correct grid on the left. So it was Pope who won the race, because he's now starting in 8th place, a top 8 reverse grid for the sprint race. Toussaint finished in 2nd, SDF in 3rd, Wigglerstar was in 4th, Bezer in 5th, Piero was in 6th, Bon Evil was in 7th, and it was Thunder in 8th. And then I want to say it was Tiger in 9th, Ted, blah 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 blah, for the rest of the grid. So I think this is the correct grid. A few people getting disqualified. The 2 Campos teammates getting disqualified from the formation lap. They're going to have very cold tyres for the start of this race, but let's get all the lovely stuff up on the screen. So a few different strategies then. 7th to 14th, all on the softs apart from Tiger on the mediums. Thunder also on softs, but 6th to 2nd on mediums, and Jet C at the back of the grid on mediums. So about half and half for the strategy in this race. 14 laps. I don't think you have to make a pit stop in this sprint race, but you can do if you want, or you can do if you have to, if it is mandatory, but I'm not sure you do. But it will be Thunder who's going to lead this form. Well, it's actually Bon Evil leading the formation map, but Thunder will lead the grid off the start. And let's see what's going to happen in this opening lap. Hopefully the intervals don't... I would rather they all move down positions or up positions, rather than, you know, just putting all the names in a hat, putting one out and saying, no, we're going to put you in first. Because that's where I got really confused in last race. Rather than like everyone just moving down a few places, everyone just mixed about, flicking from one person to another, was going from the front to the back of the grid. People were spinning and overtaking. I had no idea, but hopefully it should all be good for the second race. Everyone is now rejoining the back of the grid, and we should be ready to get this race underway. Those are the red lights counting down. We've got 3, 4, and it's 5 red lights. This lights out, and away we go. It's a decent start for Bon Evil, putting up alongside, actually ahead of the field into towards turn 1. Not a good start for Thunder. Drop down to, that's Bezel on the inside. Thunder dropping out. There's Toussaint going wheel to wheel with Pope, and Wiggly Style on the inside of his teammate. These two going wheel to wheel. Different strategies for the two Dams team. For the Dams team. Sorry, they're still wheel to wheel through turn 3, and I think that's SDF and Beza going wheel to wheel in towards turn 5. That's A6 and Jetsy. There's been a big crash. Jetsy's got no front wing damage. A6 has lost a wheel. Thunder's getting overtaken by Ted now. Someone's rounding that super clean racer, I think, off at the little chicane. ND's retired, and there's a safety car, virtual safety car even, at the start of this race. A chaotic start. And intervals have finally, corrected themselves. Bonnie Evil leads this race, followed by Beza, SDF, Piero, Ted, Thunder, Willy Style, Pope, Toussaint, Tiger, DBD, Super Clean Racer, and Jetsy. ND and A6 retiring on the opening lap of the race. A hugely unfortunate start on the opening lap. But the virtual safety car will be out for a little bit. And is that someone into the... Oh no, it's just the timing screen's messing up. Where's Ted? Piero... I think the timing screens are off. Jetsy's retired, Yo's in sector 1. Sector 3 now. So the virtual safety car has... well, is gone. We're back to green flag racing. Says the timers haven't fixed themselves because Piero is not in second. He's behind SDF, who is apparently in 5th place. And no overtakes, sorry, just the timing screens being their usual. And yeah, good restart after the virtual safety car. Thunder getting overtaken, and that's Wiggly Style round. And there's end plate damage. Is that Toussaint's end plate damage? I think, is that Toussaint's end plate? They showed me a camera angle of the front of the car. It might have been Tiger. It is Toussaint's Tiger end plate. I saw it briefly spectating Tiger. So Toussaint getting front wing damage on lap 3. Second place in the feature race has now got front damage to the front wing. Now Beza putting Bonnie Evil under some pressure in the final sector, sorry. And just a little bit of a lag. I think that is my internet being as reliable as always. Toussaint decides to stay. No, he's coming into the pit with the damage. SDF looks for us. Just looks at the inside, doesn't go for anything. Tiger second fastest lap of the race for now, but that I've got it on leader. There we go. Wiggly Style looking for a move, and it's sent into a half spin. I don't know. It's contact with Super Clean Racer. Someone's gone off wide. I think it's that DBD wide at turn 1. Hugely unfortunate for him. Super Clean Racer's gonna try and look for a move. I'm just gonna have a quick look back up top. Here goes SDF on Beza in towards the hairpin, wheel to wheel now. A tyre scraping through the chicane. All clean though. No damage, no major contact. Here goes Wiggly Style on Super Clean Racer as well into the hairpin. Doesn't decide to go for a move, but just gonna go back up to the top here. Was gonna do that. Wiggly Style though getting ahead of Super Clean Racer. Beza now putting Bonnie Evil under pressure. 4/10 separating the top 2. Pope getting past Thunder through to turn 12. Moves his way up into 6th place. Sorry, Pope getting past Thunder. I think that's what I said. Moves its way up into 6th place. By Bonnie Evil now setting the new fastest lap of the race. Quickly beaten by Pope. There goes Wiggly Style on DBD up into 9th place for him. SDF is closely behind Beza now, going to turn 2, has the DRS open. Beza locking up quite a bit on the front left, and Super Clean Racer and DBD actually going to go wheel to wheel towards turn 1. Super Clean Racer on the inside. DBD will try to switch back and get a good run down towards turn 2, but it's not going to be close enough to get the move done. Piero now looking for a move on SDF. The front 4 all on the medium tyres. Thunder behind on the softs. Will try and gain as much time as he can. But the front runners really running close together in the opening phases of this race. And that's SDF is into a spin and is collected by Ted and is in the middle of the track. Unfortunately, there was nothing Ted could do about that and has got wing damage. SDF escapes with no damage at all, but a huge shame for Ted. And you can see Ted coming into the pits. We'll be getting that wing damage repaired. Beza setting the fastest lap, chasing down Bon Evil. Late on the brakes, maybe a little bit too late for turn 1. But that incident's going to send Ted near enough to the back of the grid. SDF down in 7th place, falling behind the likes of Tiger and Thunder. But here comes Beza now, looking for a move on Bon Evil. 3 tenths, 2 tenths now, separating the top 2. Maybe he'll look for a move into the hairpin, but it'll be a brave dive, a brave attempt to go for anything there. We'll follow. We'll be closely following Bon Evil through this middle sector, try and make up as much time as he can, almost pushing her through the corners. And for some reason I can't see chat at the minute, so bear with me. Here goes Beza on Bon Evil, sends one down the inside. Bon Evil's going to try the switchback move, take the inside, will be the outside for turn 13. Later on the brakes, these two are going to go wheel to wheel through the long right hander, but Beza gets up into the lead of the race. But Bon Evil's going to try and fight this one back around the outside, do what Piero done in the last race, go wider to get more momentum through the corner, carry more speed. Tiger getting ahead of Thunder, but here goes Bon Evil for the lead down the inside into turn 1. Gets the move done up into the lead of the race. Beza though will try and send it on the inside. Couldn't quite make anything of it. Thunder's into the pits. This is for tyres or a wing? Just tyres for now. No damage to his Carlin, but we've had 6 laps almost at the halfway stage in the race. Beza 3 tenths behind race leader Bon Evil. Piero closely following this battle in 3rd place. And just looking at constructors, the top 6 are all different constructors. Well, you could really say the top 10 all different constructors. It's just 2 downs in those positions. Here goes Beza trying to get the move done in Bon Evil. These two really matching each other in pace and running really close together on track, both on the mediums. Thunder picking up a 3-second time penalty. Bon Evil's gone wide. That could allow Beza to go down the inside into the penultimate corner, maybe down the inside into the final corner. He's going to send one down the inside into the final corner. They're going to go wheel to wheel and exit as well. Bon Evil on the outside. It's going to be Beza with the DRS. Now a drag race towards turn 1. Who's got less downforce? A little bit of contact between the two, but it's going to be Beza who takes the lead of the race. Bon Evil's going to try a switchback move on the high-tech car. We've got some people coming into the pits now. Super Clean Races retired from the session. Pope and SDF into the pits. Bon Evil closely following Beza, picks up a 3-second time penalty, and we've got a virtual safety car. So maybe there's some debris on track, or Super Clean Races cars in the way or something. But a virtual safety car. The second one of the race, third one in both races. And this could allow some people to pit, but no one's in the final sector apart from DBD. So he's going to be the only one who could benefit from this. And thank you, Cryptech. I can now see the chat again. But the front two separated by only 2/10. The virtual safety car's been deployed, and Beza has had a really poor start off this virtual safety car. Bonnie Evil capitalising. Beza's going to try to send one down the inside, but Bonnie Evil caught Beza napping through turn 11, gets herself up into the lead of the race, and Beza's going to have to settle for second place for now. It's not over yet though, as Beza's going to have the DRS, but Bonnie Evil actually comes into the pits on lap 7 from the medium tyres, and probably go into a set of soft tyres, can only go into a set of soft tyres. But here comes Piero now. This is for the lead of the race. Beza goes defensive to the inside, keeps the lead, but is going to have Piero closely behind. His rear diffuser, that promotes Tiger up into third, Willie Star into fourth. Bonnie Evil might come out ahead of Pope. Just been released from her pit box, so will come out ahead of the Dams car. But pit stops in the F2 cars do take quite a significant amount longer than F1 pit stops. If I just quickly go to the race director, pit stops, we'll look for Two Saints, 15.4 seconds for a front wing change compared to your 8 or 9 second stop in the F1 car. So damage. It's definitely cost Two Saint a lot of time, costing Ted as well a lot of time in this race. But the field's starting to separate a little bit. We still have this battle for the lead, Piero and Beza. It's going to be interesting when they pit, where they come out in the light, well, in respective to Bonnie Evil. Beza trying the overcut last race in the feature race, didn't work for him, and decides to stay out. So both Piero and Beza staying out. Bonnie Evil on those fresh softs are going to be closing them down at a rapid rate of knots. But Two Saint is closing on the back of Ted, and we're trying to get past as quick as possible. Ted is on the fresher tyres. Two Saint might have got his up to temperature a little bit quicker, having done 4 laps on them. And here he goes, he's 2/10 behind, he's gaining. Will he send one? No, he's not close enough to look for a move down the inside. Beza's opened up a 1 second lead to Piero behind, as those two going through the first sector now. Ted also catching up to Thunder here, so we've got a 3-way battle for 8th place at the minute. And keep an eye on this train for the meantime. Thunder, we're trying to defend from Ted, defending from Two Saint, who is unfortunately down in 10th place after picking up that wing damage at the hairpin chicane. Sorry. In the first opening laps, a bit of a lock up. I think that's from Ted or Two Saint in towards turn 2. A lot of smoke going out of the tyre, and has actually set the fastest first sector, 2/10 quicker than anyone in the opening sector. It's right behind Ted and Thunder now, but might struggle to get past in this middle sector. Not really an overtaking sector in this track. But yeah, Ted is also closing in behind of Thunder. So Carlin, an ART and a Campos all battling for 8th place. Meanwhile, Piero's closed the gap to Beza in front, now only 5/10. Here goes Two Saint down the inside of Ted in towards turn 12, gets to move down yellow flags and sector 2. That's DBD round at the just after the chicane, but that's Two Saint up into 9th place ahead of Ted, and we'll be looking to try and gain time back on Thunder. The gap now 1 second, so he's got a little bit of work to do, but we're trying to push on this recovery drive he's on to try and gain as much time back as he can. The gap out front though is still 7/10 of a second between the two race leaders. Tiger 16 seconds behind in third, has pitted. It hasn't pitted actually. Did he spin? This question is why he's so far behind. It's really interesting how how big the gaps can form in these cars. Obviously the pit stops have an effect as well, and they're not the easiest cars to drive. DBD's into the pits, but here comes Piero now with the slipstream, and the DRS pulls over to the inside. ART versus High Tech, and the ART moves up into the lead of the race for now. Bezos ever so close to pushing him through turn 1, but that move promotes Piero up into the lead of the race. And Bon Evil's strategy of pitting hasn't really worked. In 5th place and still 10 seconds behind Wiggly Style, another 28-29 seconds behind Piero. So maybe it was a mistake for pitting for the soft tyres. Here goes Toussaint, looking for a move on Thunder. Will he go for one down the inside? He's later on the brakes, drifting the car, and there's contact, and Ted T-boning the Campos car. That's the 2nd time this race Ted has been involved in an accident he really shouldn't have been. Hugely unfortunate for Ted. Wrong place at the wrong time. He had nowhere to go other than into the side pod of the orange Campos car, and that's going to be front wing damage for Ted again. Really unfortunate, and I'm sure won't be happy in the cockpit of that car. But it almost looked like Toussaint locked the rear tyres and was already spinning, going into the corner. Here goes Beza diving it down the inside, and that's Beza into a half spin, similar to what Toussaint done. So I think Toussaint was a little bit too late on the brakes, maybe locked the rears, and then was just collected by Thunder, ploughed into by Ted, and it was just a chain reaction that unfortunately occurred down at turn 1. But Pierre's now got a 1.5 second lead to Beza behind. Here goes Pope, Wiggly Style on Tiger, and Wiggly Style gets up into 3rd place. The top 4 haven't got any penalties, so that could be crucial come the end of their race. Here goes Pope and Bon Evil. Bon Evil goes a little bit wide. Pope's going to try and look for the gap on the inside. Ayrton Senna said, if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver. Pope trying to live up to that famous quote Ayrton Senna said all those years ago. Here he goes down the inside of turn 4. Maybe that could have ended in a disaster, but thankfully it didn't. Pope settles for 6th place at the minute. We've got 2 laps to go. This is send one. I thought I was going to send one there, but it is Bon Evil who maintains 5th place but picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's going to be 6 seconds to her name, and could drop her behind SDF. SDF does have a penalty though, so I don't think it should drop too far back. But Beza, after that late move into turn 1, drops 2 seconds behind Piero. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. Here goes Pope down the inside of Bonnie Evil. Was that a brake test? I don't know what happened there. Is that Tiger round? It is. The 3rd time he spun at the penultimate corner. Here goes Pope down the inside of Bonnie Evil. Bonnie Evil gets to move up into 4th place. And just looking at the replay or the stream on my phone, Pope lifted off the throttle, didn't brake, and Bonnie Evil hit the back of him, no damage. Bonnie Evil gets the place back up into 4th place. So it wasn't a brake test. It was just maybe Pope slipped off the throttle, his foot or his finger. I don't know if he's on a controller or a wheel. Maybe got a bit too excited and decided, you know what, I don't really want to accelerate. But here we go. He's going to look for a move down the inside into turn 4. I thought he was going to go for that, but decides to back out wisely. But yeah, these two putting on a great race for us here. Tiger drops down to 7th place, 3 seconds behind SDF after that spin. DBD has got... that's Beza off! Beza's off at the penultimate corner. That penultimate corner killing a load of... well, not really killing, but... What's not the technical term, but what's a good word rather than killing? Claiming a lot of victims. There we go, the final penultimate corner. Claiming a lot of victims in this F2 race. Here goes Bonneville and Pope. Bonneville on the inside, forces Pope wide, not off the track though, but that's going to allow Bonneville to maintain 4th position. Pope in 5th behind, has to lift off through the final corner. Yellow flags through the 3rd sector. That's Bonneville, Tiger spinning again at that penultimate corner. That penultimate corner really claiming its victims in these 2 races tonight. Bonneville defending well from Pope. He's going to try and get a good run. It hasn't got the greatest of exits. They're losing out a little bit of time. Piero starts, well, it is on the final lap of the race, has been for some time now, but just going to have a quick look at this battle here for 4th place. All valuable points in the championship. Pope is so close, but yet so far behind. Bonneville does have those penalties, but I'm sure he would love to win this race on track as well as, well, just through penalties, but they're giving us some great racing for the meantime. But I'm just going to pay quick attention now to Piero, who comes around the final corner on the final lap and wins the sprint race here at the Hungary and claim the top step on the podium. Pope all over the back of Bonneville. Here goes Bezard round the final corner, takes a 2nd place. Could have probably fought for the win, but a few mistakes through turn 1 and turn 5 cost him in today's the final corner, not turn 5, cost him the time he needed. I'm going to pretend that Bonneville hasn't got any penalties and make this interesting. Pope is going to go down the inside on the final corner, on the final lap. They're going to have a drag race to the line. It's contact. Bonneville loses the rear and comes across the line to finish in 5th place sideways. Then SDF comes across the line in 6th place. Tiger in 7th after spinning on the penultimate corner a few times. Thunder in 8th. Plows! Oh my! Oh, that is... thankfully it's the final lap of the race. Toussaint will come across the line in 9th after picking up front wing damage on the first lap. That was a humongous crash. Thunder deciding to plough into the side pod of Bonneville's Trident. And the game has given Pope the driver of the day. Those are your top 3 in today's race. Piero picking up the maximum amount of points. Beza in 2nd, Pope in 3rd after getting past Bonneville in the final corner. Bonneville then losing the rear on the curve, it looked like. And settles for what I think what was 5th, I think. But nevertheless, a good result for the ART team as well. But after that race, Piero picks up the maximum 15 points. Beza in 2nd, Wiggly Style in 3rd, Pope in 4th, Bonneville in 5th, SDF in 6th, Tiger in 7th, Thunder in 8th, Toussaint in 9th, Ted in 10th, DBD in 11th, Super Clean Racer in 12th, Jets in 13th, ND in 14th, and A6 rounds off the grid. 3 DNFs from today's sprint race. Those were the results of the feature race, and those were the results of the sprint race. This is the total amount of points from the weekend. You can see Pope leads the championship. Well, got the most points from this round of 3 and 4. Beza, Piero, Wigglerstyle also getting some good points. Fastest lap as well, giving them 2 extra bonus points. So it's Pope taking 37 points out of this week's set of races in the F2 League. That should hopefully, well, for him, promote him to, I think, first in the championship. So it's looking good for Pope. Hopefully, let's see if he can continue this next week, where we will be at Silverstone for Pope's home race. Actually, a few people's home Grand Prix in the heart of England land. And that should hopefully provide some great racing. Maggots and Beckett's especially is going to be fun in these F2 cars. And let's hope that the racing there is as good as it has been in the past 2 races. But before my internet dies again, I'm going to get this intro done and dusted as quickly as possible. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Twitch if you can. Follow the Twitch page. Subscribe to the YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram. I think we're on other social media. I'm not too sure. Twitter, Facebook, maybe. I have no idea. Make sure to check out last week's race if you didn't. Next week we will be at Silverstone, as I've mentioned, and on Friday will be round 3 and 4 of the Red Bull Cup in GT Sports, which had actually a really good race last week. If you want to check that out, it's all on the YouTube. But I have been XNattyG for tonight's race. Apologies about the internet connection. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I will see you later. It's goodbye from me.